Hey y'all, it's Tashara from Politics and Fashion here today with a video that is all about the 5 things that have changed my business for the better. And this is a perfect time, I think, to make this video because much of this list I actually was able to test out all of 2022, but also we are rounding the corner, wrapping up the first quarter of 2023. And so, you know, taxes are due. And it's a good time to really think about just business goals and where it is I am headed. And as I made this list, I thought that these things would also be really helpful to you all, whether you were solopreneurs or you were thinking about it or you have a healthy side hustle. Whatever it is, I hope this video is enriching. Just know also that I have a whole solopreneur series that I will make sure is linked down below. Now, before I get started, subscribe to the channel, follow me all across the internet, including on social media at Politics and Fashion, and let's jump in. The first thing that changed my business for the better last year is having a team. Last year, I hired my team, onboarded them, I think in March or the beginning of April, and they definitely anchored so many parts of my business that I felt like were just floating around. And when I say team, I mean my admin team, and they are literally a team of 2 people. They are a couple, and they run a virtual administrative assistant business. They also include some social media consulting, but they also do work on websites, a little bit of coding. They do my newsletter. Just having them be able to kind of bring everything under one umbrella has been so incredibly helpful. And there have been multiple times where I was like, I didn't even know how to do that thing. Like I didn't know I needed that thing until you did the thing that you did. It's been enlightening. They helped me out with all of my graphics. They helped me run my paid community, which I'll get to in just a minute. It has been an investment for sure. I will let you know right now their rate because that's the whole purpose of these types of videos, to have transparent conversations. I pay about $1,700 a month for them for 20 hours a month. And I feel like it has been worth it, especially to get me to the point that I am now, which I will get to in a minute as well, where I feel like I am able to do multiple things. My goal has always been for my content to kind of have it on a flow, right? Just for it to have it flow like a well-oiled machine. Obviously, it takes my creativity to be able to pour into it. But as far as how I'm posting, when I'm posting, where I'm posting, the content that I'm putting out, what gets out, I've always wanted to find ways to automate that, honestly, because I know that what I cannot replace is my brain and my presence on my consulting side. So the goal has always been, as a DEI consultant, as a public policy expert that still works with organizations, I have to be present and accounted for there. What I don't have to be present and accounted for is getting my content syndicated and across multiple platforms. They also help me, you all, to keep my inbox from getting just completely overwhelmed. So whenever someone wants to work with me, they either at this point know to go directly to them, or I forward them the requests that I get in my inbox for brand deals. It's just freed up a lot of my time. They have helped me to launch my podcast. I mean, there's really not a whole lot that they cannot do in-house. And once again, I feel like it is just a thought partner or thought partners. It is additional brain power. It's the kind of thing that to grow your business, you likely do not know you need until you have it. I had the idea that I just needed some support because one person can only do so much. But when I was able to get in a flow with them, because that did take some time, but when we got in a flow, we just were cooking with grease. And it is definitely something that changed my business. If you notice, a more professional tone and tenor to graphics, if you notice a more timely newsletter, if you notice more content coming out across platforms, it is because of the admin team that I have, no cap. They also help me to organize Fashion Week as well, and I'm so grateful that I make the investment every month. Next is the decision to expand my platforms. Y'all, I really have been on this train for a long time talking about how Instagram is not your business. Instagram is a tool to promote your business. If you want to know more about that, go down to the Solopreneur series. But that doesn't mean that I have not too been conditioned into the world being dominated by Meta, okay? And so Instagram is my sweet spot. I've been there for the longest, but I pushed myself intentionally last year to get across platforms. And for me, that means expanding my YouTube presence, right? Doing more on YouTube Shorts and also the YouTube community page. All of these things just help to build interest in the way that the YouTube algorithm works, any algorithm, honestly. The more components that you are using that are part of that platform, the more it's going to privilege your content. And for me, a lot of times it's not even new content, okay? It's content that, I like to use the term, has been syndicated. It's been probably posted somewhere else, but every single follower that you have, they are not on every single platform, right? And so that's why I think it is important to expand your reach. And so I did so with expanding into more channels or more avenues on YouTube. Also got more serious about TikTok, and my audience is growing. I hit 10K, which is probably about what you need to be considered serious on the platform, and I have gotten a few brand deals there, but that number is growing every single day. And the more I have challenged myself to learn TikTok as a user, the more ideas I get around trending audio and videos to create. And it's actually just been fun to do something different where I haven't felt the same kind of level of pressure. And I think as a creative, that's what we need, right? When your creative outlet or your hobby becomes your job, it's very easy to lose kind of that excitement for it. And TikTok is bringing that back for me. The other area that I expanded to was my podcast. My podcast, Justice with My Best Friend, that is all around self-care, wellness at a big age, social justice topics as well. And I feel like although the platform is called Politics and Fashion, it can be difficult for the politics or the socio-political side to come across, right? I do most of that with my consulting until the podcast. And it has helped me to flex the muscles of my legal brain, of my social justice, of my organizer brain. And it has been just so incredibly fulfilling to not just do that type of work, but to also do it with my best friend. And as a burgeoning media mogul, yeah, I said it, we're going to manifest it. Okay, as the next Oprah, yeah, I said it, we're going to manifest it. Being across all of these platforms is just such a dream come true for the brand. I would not have thought it was possible when I had this little inkling of an idea around politics and fashion, to be honest with you. And so now the question is, what platform you want to work with me on? You know what I'm saying? What you want. I got a podcast, I got YouTube, I got TikTok, I got Instagram. I'll even hop over on Facebook if I need to. Okay, got a private community, got a newsletter. Just, it's like that whack-a-mole game. Bam, bam, bam. Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. And I am so grateful for being across all those platforms. And again, though, we have to go back to number one. I would not be able to have launched all of these things and kept them consistent if it was not for that administrative support. And the other thing is, I have mentioned, I had to take a step back from that conditioning around IG obsession. I stopped my IG obsession. I stopped it. If you were listening to me break free, Satan, get thee behind me. I am not comparing IG to Lucifer. I'm just saying that the mindset that to be a successful online content creator or to have a successful business today takes Instagram and Instagram only, it's just simply not true, sis. It is not. I was earning revenue on Instagram and other platforms with 5,000 followers. Right now I'm at 77,000. But what I recognize is that even when I had 5, what I had to do was create streams of income outside of the platform and use the platform to support and to promote those streams of income. And I have a video about that as well. Okay. So for me, that looked like ebooks. It looked like personal services. It looked like workshops. Okay. I won't get into all of those things because they are expanded upon in a video. But as I I mentioned, I had to realize that IG wasn't everything. And last year was a year that I really forced myself to get rid of that obsession. Okay. I had to do it. And I feel like being able to create again like I once did helped actually my platform to grow. Because what I leaned into was just being me and just being completely 100% as authentic as I felt like I could be on that day. And I just gave girls what they wanted, to be honest with you. Because I think we forget that this is just a device. What is contained inside of it are community building tools. And IG is just one way to help you build community. I don't have to have the most perfect picture to build community. In fact, there is trending now concepts around this idea of lo-fi content. The idea that let's just go back to posting the picture with the messy bun. I don't got no hair. With the messy bun. With the no makeup, without the lashes. Take it on your iPhone. I went to Morocco for a week. And for me, there is no way at this point in my career 2 years ago I would have taken that kind of trip. And I would not have hired a photographer as soon as I touched down. In fact, randomly a photographer DM'd me in Morocco. And I was like, you know what? I got my iPhone. I'm good. First picture I posted got over 4,000 likes. And tons of engagement, which for me doesn't happen at all frequently. That's how I know that what's most important is building community. And that is what I focused on. Not the prettiest, most perfect content. Because IG is a tool for me to promote other things. It is a tool for me to promote the podcast. To promote what I'm wearing on, my like to know it outfits. These things are linked. Follow me on LTK. Promote the newest YouTube video. Talk to you about my travels. Share some tips over on my website, right? I stopped the IG obsession. It released a lot of pressure, and it also helped my other platforms to grow and gave me the ability and the time to be able to focus on those other platforms as well. Number 4 is I started a paid community, as I have already mentioned. And I started this community, you all, because I started to notice the way that my free content was just taking off, which is what you want. As a content creator, you want your content to take off. But as someone who sees content creation as a form of labor, people don't necessarily deserve that access to you for free. So I had to jump behind the paywall, okay? And it has been great because I can jump into that community and be like, hey, y'all, which pair of shoes should I get? Hey, y'all, I'm at Charles de Gaulle Airport. Here's some behind the scenes of the things that I'm seeing. Hey, y'all, meet me here for our monthly live. It is also a repository for all of the content that I am constantly pushing out, which I love because if you really, really bang with politics and fashion, what you know is to go to our private community on Mighty Networks, and then you see the podcast for the week, you see the YouTube video for the week, you see the you see all the things, the press articles, you see everything in one space. And that for me has been a labor of love. The community is not huge, but I believe it's growing. I always promote it because it is something that I have a lot of faith in the potential of, especially as content creators honestly start to just get kind of hip to the ways in which some of these platforms will use and abuse you and not pour back into you. And so having a paid community really allows for me to just build up the supporters, the tribe in my life who I feel like want to see this platform succeed, and people who I care about also personally, who I've gotten to know over the years. I'm so incredibly grateful. It is probably one of the things that I'm the most proud of that I have done over the past 12 months. And the last thing that changed my business for the better is that I took risks, y'all. I took risks when I was scared. When I was literally shaking, I took risks. I went to Fashion Week for the first time in February, changed the game for me. Met some of my favorite content creators. They loved me, they held me. Tanika, Monroe, Janae. Learned so much, still learning so much from them. I got to share that experience with you all. You all loved it here on YouTube. I felt like I belonged, and I had never thought that I would feel that way. Went twice last year to Fashion Week. I also appeared on Access Hollywood. They emailed me out the blue, girl. I thought it was spam. I was so scared. I didn't even tell anybody until I'd filmed it and came home because I thought it wasn't actually going to happen. Since then, I've gotten several calls to return, been able to go back once. I went back again early this year for the trends of 2023. My platforms are expanding because once again, I'm outside. Or maybe we're in all the places. And that took me taking risks and me saying, just because I have not done it before does not mean that I will not excel and be great at it. Number one, it's not how my spirituality is set up. I believe I can do any and everything. If I have thought about it, it's because it's already done, actually. But also, if you are not challenged, if you are not growing, then what does it mean to exist? I have to push myself. In times where things are the hardest, I feel like are the greatest potentials for growth. And I definitely saw that last year into this year. And I'm so incredibly grateful, as I've said across all of these things, to have tried new things, to have taken risks, and to have had them pay off in a mighty way. And that is it, y'all. Those are the 5 things that have changed my business for the better. Let me know down below, what was the thing that kind of gave you an aha moment? What kind of sparked something in your brain? I would love to know. Also, feel free to ask me any questions. I'm happy to answer them. Such an important topic for me, especially for the audience that I know I have, that I would love for us just to keep the dialogue going. In the meantime, however, I will see you good people across the internet. Peace.